Hello, we're at IBC and we have an opportunity to speak with Simone Trudell, who is the Senior Director of Product Marketing for NAGRA. And it's great to have this opportunity to catch up with you in the light of some of the research that's come out of the Pay TV Innovation Forum that you guys have been a driving force behind. Why don't we begin by just telling us what this is and how long it's been operating and what its agenda is?
Absolutely. So it's a program that we launched in Q2 2016. It's been running with the final reports and conclusions that were released here at IBC 2016. The program aims to look at the state of innovation in the pay TV industry and really answer the question, what will be driving growth for the industry in the years to come at a global level. And the approach we've taken is really to work with a London-based consultancy, MTM, that have been experts at the TV space for over a decade. And they researched the market around the world, looking at the top 231 operators across the leading countries and analyzing the state of innovation at each of these operators, looking at a number of capabilities that the operators can offer to their subscribers. And then we opened up the conversation with industry executives. Over 200 people were asked to contribute and provide their view of what are the priorities in terms of innovation for the years to come.
So what would you say are the key learning points that have come out of this extensive work? I don't know that anybody's done this, because usually you get these research studies and they're really not talking to the distributors. They're talking to everybody else and to get trends and what have you. So getting them to cooperate was no small feat, I imagine. But once you did, what did you find out?
Well, what we realize is that there are some obvious leaders worldwide, and they are not specific to one region. There are across the world some companies. We listed actually 10 major players that are ahead of the curve in many ways, and have been able to innovate already and launch new type of services. Improving the pay TV experience, or even going into what we call adjacencies, new areas of growth for pay TV. So we provided a benchmark and a ranking of the players, and that data is available in the reports. And what comes out is that in terms of the next steps, and that's probably what's very important to understand, is that we're seeing obviously more competition driving more innovation. And one stat that came out is some service providers, when we surveyed them, said, okay, 83% feel that competition is going up, and 78% said that innovation was the answer to it somehow. So it means that we're reaching a point in the industry where we know that things are changing and opportunities are there to actually grow the pay TV industry. But the recipe will be different because the technologies and the networks to deploy pay TV services are evolving, with IP and cloud technology and data becoming more and more important. And the other dimension in terms of how to do it better for the future, in the conclusions we have obviously a focus on new technologies, but also on partnerships with key vendors to accelerate this innovation process and be more agile and leveraging the best of breed players in the industry to get there and build the future of pay TV.
What did you see as kind of the most consensus-oriented innovation area that people want to go to? Is it revolving around UHD and HDR? Is it starting other services? Is it mounting and over the top? I mean,
so we looked in particular at 9 major categories, and out of that list of 9 categories, there were 3 that stood out more. And one of them is in the pricing and packaging, more on the business side, but pricing and packaging of the offering. And I think we're progressively, the feedback we're getting from the industry is that we will move progressively away from the one fits for all type of bundle to more segmented, targeted products that correspond to the needs of consumer segments. And that is becoming possible because of OTT delivery and new technologies that are used and new experiences that can be delivered. And we in the surveys that came out as one of the top priorities. Then it's also about improving the offering in terms of content. So onboarding OTT content, typically the Netflix and YouTube of the world.
So you're seeing a big buy-in on that. I mean, 2 years ago that survey would have come up near zero on that question.
Absolutely, and we saw actually we started a survey about over a year ago where we already had some signs that it was becoming a reality. And now we're seeing that happening, and more vendors saying, more service providers saying that yes, they would like to onboard more content, and create sort of the one place where you have access to all the best content. So really giving pay TV its leadership role again as being the one place where the best content is available. So that's the second priority, and the third one is really on increasing the reach to all screens. So big screen for sure, big TV set experience, very important, but also bringing the same content to other devices with the on-demand capabilities easily available from all devices. And that's more to address the needs of a younger generation that is definitely consuming content
and
very
really
differently.
These three are all intertwined, and
they are absolutely.
You know, they basically feed off each other and are really what are the priorities in the industry. So that survey really gives us a good idea of what's on these people's minds. North America, any different? Is in terms of
there are trends that are obviously stronger, and in the North American market, we've also heard from service providers that there is a growing appetite for delivering really OTT-based content and building more like an app model. Addressing these needs for obviously on-demand consumption anywhere, anytime, and also more flexible pricing and bundling, and with the pressure from content owners that are going direct to consumers, this is also bringing service providers to look at the market from a different, with a different set of rules and vision of where it's headed. We haven't seen that much these trends emerging in other parts of the world yet. So when we look at the 4 reports, we see that North America is already addressing challenges that the other regions are only dreaming about.
Our audience can go to your website and get your findings from the forum?
Absolutely. So these 5 reports are available for download for free. Registration on the NAGRA website /PayTVIF. And we have also published a number of interviews, public interviews with executives that were created as part of the program.
Oh, interesting.
And they provide, from a service provider perspective, with real examples of what's happening in a given market, some insights of how they see innovation in their companies, how they see innovation in the industry, and what they see as the key success factors.
Well, good. We'll definitely be bird dogging that site for a while, I think. Sounds like a lot of good information. Thanks a lot, Simone.
Thank you.